the vertical live streaming features enabled on my account. So we shall see. The bench is cleaned up and ready to go. So I'll just do a quick walkthrough on what I got going on. Getting a panel ready for Thursday night's feed at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me get my easel here from Visionaire, get that set up. We'll get this cleaned off. And we'll just see if this is working. Like I said, I'm just getting a test going to see if vertical live streaming gets set up on my account, because I should be able to do vertical and horizontal at the same time once this is set. So not much is going on. I am recently back from SEMA. Obviously didn't do last week's feed because we were in recuperation mode. And we are getting cleaned up and ready. All the brushes are cleaned. I got some new paint mixes that I've followed a little tutorial from General Mendez on how to mix the paint he likes. So I got what size is this? I had this piece lying around. I think this is going to be an 8 by 12 panel. This is a polymetal aluminum panel. Thanks, Tanner. And one of those polymetal panels. I got it prep sanded with the red Scotch-Brite, got it taped out. So I still don't know what I'm going to paint Thursday night. Yeah, it's early, Jonathan. I'm just I'm setting up to see if I can do vertical live streams. There's going to be a new feature I can do vertical and horizontal at the same time, but for some reason when I set up the feed, it's not enabled. So I'm doing it from my phone as a test to see if it works here, and then maybe that'll kick in and be enabled. So SEMA was awesome. So yeah, so I got my paint set up here. Nice, basically a black and gray and white mix that I know Gerald Mendez is going to be doing a video on how he mixes and gets his precision perfect paint ready. So I'm not going to go jump the gun on him. Let him do that because it works amazing. I got another new thing coming out. So this is going to be holding the strainers. So when you strain your paint, you can just pour in with my type of metal ones and that. So I'm actually 3D printing these right now. They'll be available soon. But yeah, Kelly Ross, what's going on? So while I got you here, is there any suggestions or you want to see anything? I didn't do a quick walk around. The place is a mess. The studio's a mess, but what the hell? As a setup, still running my 4-channel switcher. That's my Stream Deck with all the buttons on it that I switch. That's how all the graphics come up on screen. I'm still waiting for the 8-channel switcher to come in. The new Extreme G2 hasn't come out yet. And then when that comes out, I'll be able to use these 2 monitors so I can see more stuff. And yeah. You can make me buy more. No. But they are suggestions. But yeah, these actually work good. I tested them yesterday, and now I'm printing a bunch. Paint a character from Futurama. Cartoon characters don't really show too much shading. I think I want something a little bit more challenging. Something a little more fun. Robot Devil. Oh, yeah. Could be cool. Something along those lines, or here's some of the other stuff. I never really done a walk around. That was a panel from SEMA a couple years ago. Pilgrim Skeleton. Ooh. That was from Airbrush Rendezvous a couple years ago. I think that was either a live feed or recorded. There's one of the original spiders. Pumpkin King, Pumpkin Reaper. I think that one is. a scarecrow. Here's some of the other panels from various feeds. There's the basics. So yeah, so the vertical live stream is working. Hopefully I can get both set up. I would really like to get that working. Turkey skeleton. Oh, turkey skull could be cool, actually. Taylor, I like that idea. Yeah, not really. Wish. Want to buy some stuff? It's all for sale. Yeah, that was the SEMA panel from a couple years ago. That was the other one. That was the Sissy bar that was supposed to go to a charity auction, but it just toured around. They never actually did the auction, so I requested the painting back. So, yep. And there is the setup. That's what I'm working on now. Another tabletop figure I'm working on. Yeah. I love to. So, yeah. So I think brushes are already cleaned out. Yeah. And this paint should be ready to go. Yeah. Basically, I strained these about 4 or 5 times through a big strainer, then did a reduction, and then put them in these nice dropper bottles. So I saw Gerald using these at SEMA, and his black and his white were just flowing perfect. Just a matter of dialing in the paint just right. Because you got to remember, all the paint like Createx and House of Color and Solvents, anything else, they're designed for major spraying through a normal size gun, 0.35, 0.5, or a spray gun. They're not really catered to, that micro fine painting. Yes, I did paint that at SEMA, and it came out great. And I'm giving that to Apple, Justin, who kind of handles all the SEMA prep wall for all of us. And I gave him that piece as a thank you for all the help. Came out cool, actually. But yeah. So you got to remember, like this paint, especially the opaques, they're designed for coverage that, through 0.35, 0.5. But when you start going through a micron or the small ones and you're doing micro details, that's when you want to really dial the paint in and tune it up. So straight out of the bottle, just reduction very rarely works out. Long term, you'll get starts and stops. So by basically setting up the paint, works out really good. So yeah. Well, I think that's a decent test. Sorry for the midday. I should do maybe a studio walk around. It's an absolute mess right now. My desk is an absolute mess. Stuff everywhere. This is my vintage video game collection, which is dusty. And just stuff. Stuff. More stuff. There's my Star Wars trench. This is a turkey from last year. Still got that. And here's the 3D printer. I just printed a whole bunch of these strainers, the strainer holders. Strain it. You all know I'm a big fan of that. So I think these are pretty good. Pop that off. Yeah. So I just got those done. This is the first test batch. You're doing a batch of them. Yeah, I think these will be kind of good. We'll put a non-stick foot on those so it won't slide on you. Yeah, so this is what you don't see on camera all the time. Of the whole messy studio. Yeah, these will work out great. All right, guys. Post up some ideas on the group channel, in the comment section, and or on my social medias or some ideas. And Tanner, I am liking that. I'm liking that turkey skeleton idea. That might be cool. See if I can find some cool images. If you got any, send them my way because that could be cool to do like a black and gray, like turkey skull. Yeah. Glad I came on. Move my paint spot. Okay, deer heads and gun cabinets and easel. Nice. Yeah. Awesome, guys. Hey, I'm going to pop off. Like I said, I was just trying to get this set up. Thanks, everyone, for just randomly popping in. Very cool. And go from there. Have a good one, guys. Peace.